Welcome back to the Backyard Golf Course build. We've got the 2 golf greens roughed in and the drainage and gravel layer complete. Now it's time to spread the USGA Rootzone mix. On this larger green, I have the higher plateau here. It drops down to the center where it levels off and mellows out here. A couple small humps over there that I've marked with the stakes, but we're ready to go. That is the last time we'll see that gravel. We have the Rootzone mix, it's here. 1 load, there's another one coming, so I want to get this started to at least see how far I go. Terrified that I'm going to run out of material, so I want to get at least half of it down and see where I end up. I took the time with a lot of hand raking to smooth and shape the gravel layer to the final contour that I want my golf greens to play at. And this smaller green is much more safe and flat for a putting surface. I have a couple small mounds here that just work out of the rough mounds that I have. That has got to be enough. I like the slope, I like the shape, I like the undulations that we've got in this thing. I think we are done officially with the rakes. I hammered in the grade stakes across the entire green area to guide me in depth as I'm adding this Rootzone mix. I'm shooting for 10 inches of Rootzone material, so I marked the stakes at that level. Well, that was something, that's for sure. A bit of a struggle at first. I had to build a road in, which was tough. This material, it is so loose, it is so sandy, which that's what they want. It just does not compact. No matter how much machine traffic or foot traffic you get on a golf green, it doesn't compact that much. So even though I drove over this 50 times, I can still go, and every time I turn, I sink in and I spin with my wheels. If I had tracks, I think this would be rather enjoyable, carving this down. I have the excavator over there on tracks with the front blade. I may clean that off and bring it in here and try and mow this down to 10 inches everywhere and see how far I go, because I'm getting a little bit nervous. That is pretty much a full load. I have 4 coming. I need at least 2.5 down there. So do I have enough in a half load to finish this? When I look at the fluffy stuff, it looks like I'm so much higher than my line. But when it does compress down for that initial compression with the machine, you do press a lot down. So I'm a little light there. Kind of rip this up here. I'm a little short. This looks high, I hope. Yeah, there's too much there. So I might bring that excavator in, just push this around. The tracks are certainly going to help make it look a lot better. Try to push it out to the side and see if I can make this look like we've got more here than we actually do. So that is so much easier. Tracks is like cheating compared to wheels. That was so nice. It just runs itself, flattens everything out. It is nice and firm. That excavator is 3,500 pounds heavier than my skid steer, but with the tracks spreading out the weight equally, you just don't sink down as much. So it's good and firm. I just didn't sink anywhere near as deep. And if you look, I've got more than 12 inches there. So I've got 2.5 inches that I can send that way. That's maybe the ticket. Maybe I'll try the tractor on the other green, moving the dirt with the tractor and then using the excavator to spread it out. Tomorrow we'll get the Rootzone mix on this larger green, but first we have one order of business. A couple months back I ordered a few dump truck loads of a heavy clay soil. It was scraped up from an old barnyard and brought here so I could spread it on that huge pile of rock back there. In that pile of dirt was an old pair of underwear, probably from the farmer. I like the idea of good karma, positive vibes, all that. So with that said, I think it's fitting that we put these under the green where they'll always be forever. In 2002 at the Salt Lake City Olympics, the Canadian ice crew buried a $1 Canadian coin called the Lucky Loonie at center ice before the gold medal game. The Canadians went on to win their first gold in 50 years, so I think it's kind of the same sense here. I'm going to be on this green, I'm going to have some big putts someday, I'm going to make a great putt someday, and you and I will be the only ones that know that it is the spirit of the farmer that probably makes that putt for me. Well, we've had a change of plans here. The final 2 loads of the Rootzone mix was supposed to show up here tomorrow, But the trucking company kind of bumped me out because they have much larger contracts with larger companies and they have the trucks booked. It could be a week or more before I see that Rootzone mix, so that's why I made the decision. My dad jumped in the tractor, he hauled all the way down to the other green. We at least have enough on that now where I can spread it out, and I know that that green is complete with Rootzone mix because we did chew up. We took half of this pile, so I'm a bit surprised. We're 1.5 truckloads on that green. I have 4 total coming, so 2.5 will go here. I'm hoping I have enough because this green is quite a bit bigger than the other one. This is what we're looking at. It actually looks like a green. It's coming now. I got a lot of material there. Like, I really do think even 10 inches compacted is a ton for a backyard golf course. I think you could get away with less. This is about 1,200 square feet, and I've got 50 ton of Rootzone material there. So I'm just going to feather it out with the blade, push it into the outside edge here. And this has always been the area that I've kind of been wondering, how do I pull this off? So I'm going to meet the Rootzone mix with basically topsoil here. There is a lot of material here. There has to be more than enough. That is 11 inches of compacted. So I'm just going to spread that out. I have to say that USGA Rootzone mix, it looks great. It's fun to work with, easy to smooth over. We've got the roughed in area here of the surround around the green. This lighter colored dirt is basically my subsoil. You can see the irrigation is all piped up here and ready to go. So we're pretty much ready for topsoil on this area, and I'll bring in 5-6 inches of topsoil and we'll meet it into the green. I'll do my final shaping of the Rootzone mix as it meets that topsoil. I calculated that I need 128 metric tons of this USGA Rootzone mix. That would be 4 large trailers. I got 2 already, and we spread that one smaller green, and I've used up all of it, as you can see, scraped up there, and we got about this much of the second green. So I'm comfortable that my 4 trucks is enough, but the bad news is I cannot secure a truck. This is exceptional weather for mid-September here, so the construction companies, they're also super busy. I'm trying to get in on the trucking. I'm just a little guy with a backyard golf course, so I kind of get bumped out of the schedule when they have these trucks rented out to the big companies. So I totally understand that. I'm told a rain day will help, so that might get us some Rootzone mix. I just don't know when that could be. Could be a week or more, so I'm about to change gears here and go back to irrigation. The other bad news is the grass seed company sent me the wrong Bentgrass, so they're scrambling, trying to get me the proper stuff. That should be here in a few days, and we do have time now that I'm at a shortage with my Rootzone mix. The other bad news is the rightful owner of this excavator needs it back soon, so I have to scramble and get done every little job that I need with it because it's only here maybe for the next week. And to top off yesterday's great news, I ran over my favorite rake and my favorite shovel with the skid steer, and I'm still upset about it. We're gonna have to replace those. What I also have to do is target this fairway area. This is the final grading. I started this earlier in the year on a video. It's kind of grown in. That hill over there is rough. I've left it to the end for that reason. It's rocky and rough, but I want to get an actual tee box up there. I think it's a great shot. You can go both ways to the 2 greens, and I got to get a little bit of a platform up there, get this roughed in because I want to punch an irrigation line up there this weekend. I've rented a major trencher this time. That smaller one I had was just no good, so this weekend I want to get all my trenching in. I need 2 main runs down the fairway, 1 down the side over by that tee box we talked about, and then I got to sneak over around this pond to get a little bit of water going over here. So a lot of trenching going on, but before I do that, I want to get this fairway mowed down to where I like it. You can see this row of dirt, it goes all the way around the pond, and that's where I want to hold water back. The first YouTube video I ever put up on my other channel was when we dug this pond 4 years ago. And I've learned a lot about a pond. I like fish and I like nice clean water in a pond. And the number one rule that I've learned is do not let rainwater runoff go into your pond. So ideally I want to have a slight little berm here. I don't want it to be too obvious for the golf course aesthetics, but I want to trap water here and send it all the way around my pond, and I have a drain over there that sends it into a low area, and it's gone and doesn't get in my pond. So I have to work off of this, and we'll level everything out from there. For the price, that thing works so well. I can only imagine what a high quality one would be like to run on a bigger machine. It's just cleaned everything up. Up next, I get my hands on a larger trenching machine to tackle this giant irrigation job. And also, the final 2 loads of Rootzone mix arrives.